It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
And welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your host, Uncle Roy, and as you can tell, it's Christmas time. Oh, Lordy, oh, and here's my special guest host, Miss Callie. Oh, come over here for a treat. Santa's little helper. Oh, here she comes, slowly but surely. Oh, come here. Oh, turn around, get in positions. Yeah. Oh. Come on. It's only a half-hour show. Oh, there you go. Santa's little helper got a little antlers on. Getting festive for the occasion. And as you can tell, I got the set all decorated up too. The kitchen's all ready for Christmas. I remember I had a friend come over not too long ago, and I forget how that was recently. I think it was the fall or Thanksgiving or something. Anyway, she came in and she was like, well, how come only that part of the kitchen's decorated? And I said, because this is the set where I do the filming of my show. It's in the kitchen of my house. So I only decorate this part of the house for the holidays. I leave the rest go. Anyway, so we're going to be doing lots of cooking this month. Oh my Lord. I'm going to try to get a new episode in every week if I possibly can. If not, I'm going to have to put in an old one. But I want to get in new ones all the time if I can. So anyway, today we're going to be doing Callie's Christmas treats. Yeah, we'll start out with Callie's Christmas treats. This is going to be her holiday shortbread, or peanut butter holiday shortbread is what it's called. So of course it has peanut butter in it, one of her favorites. Wasn't it, Callie's? Yeah, she loves peanut butter. Just like the squirrels. Oh, squirrels. So anyway, what we're going to do first is we have a half cup of all-purpose flour and 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour. So these are going to be healthy biscuits. And we need 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Now with these ingredients for my doggy treats, they're just common household ingredients and you don't have to go out and buy anything special. And you can make these up at home without having to, buy all these extra ingredients like a lot of recipes do. These are very simple and very easy to make. So we just want to take and just mix this up a little bit. I always like to use a wire whisk when I mix my dry ingredients together because that helps to aerate it and makes it mix in much easier, nicer, and it breaks up any of your lumps like from baking sodas. Powders are usually fine enough as it is, but the soda usually gets into clumps. But if you have any flour too, or sugar or anything else with your dry ingredients that happen to have little lumps and clumps, the wire whisk always breaks that up and makes it much more easier and nicer. So always remember to, whip up your little dry ingredients. Then in a separate bowl here, we have 3/4 cup of milk and 1 cup of peanut butter. Oh, Callie, I got peanut butter. Oh, peanut butter. Get that in there. Oh, get the spoons. Yeah, peanut butter. Yeah. Cool. I love peanut butter. Yeah. A pre-sampling of the Christmas treats. Use that? Oh, we can still use it. This is all for you anyway. Yeah, what does it matter? If this was human food, I wouldn't do it. But it's not. It's all hers, so I can use the same spatula and mixing up. But what we're going to do is mix this peanut butter and milk together until we get a smooth paste. And the wire whisk will help break that peanut butter up too. Doesn't take too long, it takes a few strokes. Callie was with me today. We went shopping. We had to go to the studio, pick up the equipment. So she loves to ride in the car. And she's staring at everybody, looking. We had to stop at Dairy Queen on the way back though, so she could get her puppy cup. The one in Crystal gives you a free puppy cup for your dogs. So I got myself a sandwich and French fries, and she got a little Ice Queens. Yeah, a little puppy cup. We've been there for a long time. So as soon as we pulled into the speaker, you know, it sounds like the adults on Charlie Brown Christmas. And so that speaker, and she heard that noise, and right away her ears perked up, and she knew where we were. So she was all excited to get her Ice Queens. And then she almost crawls over my lap to get out the window to the lady who was giving her the puppy cup, weren't you? Oh, you knew we were getting puppy cups. Yeah, you did. So then we just pour this peanut butter mixture of milk and peanut butter into the dry ingredients. And like I said, this is her food, so it doesn't matter if I use that spatula or not. But she looked on, because everything gets washed afterwards anyway. Ain't that right? Yeah, oh yeah, I love your kisses. Yeah, I love your kisses. So we're just gonna put this on low at first, just to start mixing it up. And we don't need a high speed. Maybe at 2 at the most. Just until it gets rather mixed up. And then we can turn that off. And we're going to switch it over. Simples. We'll switch this over to the dough hook now. And this we can take and knead for about 2 to 3 minutes. And while that's kneading, we'll be right back. Okay, now we got this all kneaded out. And then you can just take and roll this out. You want to go to about 1/4 of an inch thick. You don't want it too thick, because these are going to puff up a little. And these are a treat too, so we don't want to make a full meal deal here, you know. So then we take our baking sheet and we're going to line that with a little piece of aluminum foil. And this just helps to keep everything clean and neat, and keeps the treats from sticking. But you also want to take and just put a light spray of coating over it. Just a little spray. Callie, come here. So now we can cut out. And because it's Christmas, you can use any type of cutter you want to, technically. You know, it doesn't matter. I got little bone-shaped ones, so she can have her little doggy bones. Come here, Callie. Little scraps here. Oh, little samples. See? Little doggy bones. Yeah. And for being Christmas, I got little Christmas trees, or little angels, shapes, double. Little gingerbread men. And I got some ornaments shape. And we got the state of Minnesota. Hey. Got the state of Minnesota here, Callie Elliott. And I make sure this goes the right way. You want International Falls over on the right, or over on the left, you want it on the right. State of Minnesota. Yeah. Anyway, you just punch out all the little treats that you want to and place them just about 1/4 inch to 1 inch apart. They're not going to swell up that much. They get more puffy higher than they do wider. And we got some Christmas trees. And these would be festive little treats. Now, you don't have to have these all just for your dog. What's really fun too is if you can go to like the dollar store and they've got little treat bags, which are just cute. And they're all Christmassy and all festive print on the wrapping, on the packaging. And you can just take and make a little collection of these treats and put them in bags and give them out as presents to your friends that have other friends that have dogs. And you can just put a little gift card on there, like I can put like Lainey next door. She's another dog next door. Callie and her play once in a while. I can set up make a little bag of treats and put to Lainey from Callie. Oh. Wouldn't that be nice? Yes, Callie Alex, giving out treats to your friends. Yeah. And I'll probably take and make up a treat basket for my second garden. They've got dog, remember Mr. Chance? Yeah, Mr. Chance. He'll take and he was in shows a couple of times, wasn't he, Callie? Yeah, and you and him always go running and playing. You could bring him a little Christmas treat. Yeah. Simple. Take the box, So then we'll just cut these out and we can just put them on our sheet. And then we'll put them in our preheated 400-degree oven for 15 minutes is all they take. And then when they come out, you want to let them cool for just a minute or two on the sheet so that they don't fall apart. You don't want to, it's the same way with cookies too. You don't want to take them off the sheet while it's hot because they'll fall apart because they're still hot. They're not set yet. So let them sit for about a minute or two on the cookie sheet after you take them out of the oven, and then move them onto your cookie rack to cool completely. You don't want to give your dog a hot treat. You don't want to burn their mouth. No. So then we'll just take and get our treats, and then we can go on to our next recipe. So we hope you enjoy these, and then when we get done, Callie can test them and see how good they really are. Won't that be right? Yeah. Okay, these are all rolled out. You can tell I got a huge assortment of treats, and we'll put these in the 400-degree oven now for 15 minutes. Is that right, Callie? Oh, and then you got treats coming out of the oven. 15 minutes. Okay, Callie, the treats are done. Oh, her shortbread. These houses smell like peanut butter like crazy. Oh. So now we'll just let these cool for a little bit. And let's see, I'll put them over on the counter. And let those cool for a couple minutes, and then you can put those on your cookie rack to cool completely. Remember, don't give them the hot treat. You don't want to burn their mouth. So we can go on to our next recipe, and we're going to make some fudge. This is the easy fudge, the marshmallow cream kind. And this is so easy to make. But the reason why is you can make the old-fashioned fudge, which I probably will do in another episode. But the old-fashioned fudge, you got to be careful because you got to whip it up until it's no more glossy, and it's really easy to overbeat it, and it gets hard in your pan, and then you can't get it out, and then you get a big mess, And so we're going to do the easy version here, so you don't end up with that big mess. Now, when we do the real one, I think I'll probably do. I did an eggnog fudge one time. I'm gonna look for different flavor, but I'll show you the little trick on how to do it so that you don't overbeat it or underbeat it, because it's so easy to do either or. If you underbeat it, then you're going to get a soupy fudge. It just melts away. And if you overbeat it, then you can't get it out of the pan, and you get this big chunk of fudge in your pan. Then you're stuck. So anyway, we're going to do the cream fudge. And always remember too, on your cream fudge, or any of your candies, you want to take and spray your pot. It's very important to do that because it'll crystallize on the edges. And there's another tip too I got for you as the fudge is cooking, is as it's cooking, you just take a pastry brush dipped in water and just go around the top of the fudge inside the pan there, just with a liquid hot fudge is bubbling. You just take the hot water, your water on your brush, and just go right around the edge. And that'll keep the fudge from crystallizing, so you don't get those chunks of sugar in your fudge. You get a smooth, creamy fudge without that little grit, That's a good tip too. So first of all, turn on our pot here. And we're going to put in 3 cups of sugar. I don't think Uncle Roy would eat much of this. And 3/4 stick of butter. That's a stick and a half. It's 3/4 cups of butter. And you want to make sure you have your wooden spoon. Because with candy making, you don't want to have a metal one or plastic one. Plastic's going to melt, and the metal's going to get hot and burn your hands. So you want to make sure you have a wooden spoon. And then we need 3/4 cup or 2/3 cup of evaporated milk. Where did I just put that? I just had it. Where'd it go, Callie? There it is. Oh, I got so many treats everywhere. Oh my Lord, I got candy supplies everywhere. Just gotta watch out for the roommates so don't eat up all my treats. Make sure you shake that well of evaporated milk. And we need 2/3 cup. Now with the excess, you can just put this into a little Tupperware container and put that in the refrigerator, and it'll keep for a few days. I'll probably will use it up right away and make another batch. Now you want to get yourself a candy thermometer. They're not that expensive. Once you get one, they last for a long time, unless you really break it. But just by using it on a regular basis, they last for a long time. I've had glass ones that last me years. But this is one of those professional ones here. I got this one at Cub, I think. These are the ones that you see on Food Network. This kind. I'm used to the glass round one. But anyway, you want to bring this to a boil. And if you don't have a thermometer, it's going to be boiling for approximately 4 minutes. And what we want to do is bring it up to the 234 degrees, which is your softball stage. Now this here, 220, 210, 220, 230, 4, 5, softball. Okay, so we'll let that go. And you can just stir it constantly. You don't have to stir it constantly. But just stir it every so often because you want everything to dissolve completely together. And then we have our 9-inch pan, a 9-inch square pan. You don't want the small 8-inch one because then your fudge is going to be really thick, unless that's what you want. But you want like about a 9-inch one. And just take and spray that too. Put your foil in there. And you want your foil hanging over the edges so that you have something to grab onto, because when it's cooled and hard, you can just lift this whole foil and the whole fudge will come right out, lay that on your cutting board, and then you can cut it into your squares. And it's so much easier. You don't have to sit there and slice into the pan and try to, fudge it up or scoop it out. Scoop out the fudge out the fudge. You know what I mean? With a spatula or something, because then it gets really hard to get it out there and it breaks and crumbles. So if you put it in the foil and just pull it, lift it out when it's cool, it's so easy to cut into squares. Excuse me. Now my fudge is starting to boil. And let this go until we get to 234. So what do you think of my decorations? Aren't they cute? I just love my little collection of old vintage Santas. I just love those. They're so fun. And then I always have the nutcrackers. I always add on a Santa and a nutcracker every year, or try to anyway. And then I got the old vintage Santa Clauses up there in black and white. Old. I just love that old Victorian Santa look. I think this is so cool. And then I made up my container. I did a lot of container gardening for clients this year out at the gardens and stuff. And it's similar to some things like this. Well, I have poinsettias in there and holly, and then I put in the little cuticules colors to match whatever poinsettias I do. One place I did blue and white, and others I did red and gold, sometimes I did white. And then I got some dogwood in there and a birch tree stick in there. And it just makes it so festive and nice and fun. And that I could put outside too if I wanted to, like on the front door steps or something. And that makes it really pretty in a special occasion. And usually when I do my Christmas tree, I have my artificial tree in the other room over here. And last year I also had a real one in the living room, which was kind of fun because my roommate could decorate that tree the way he wanted to, and then I'd decorate mine the way I wanted to. And then you get the smell of that fresh pine, which I just love. And if I don't get a real tree, then I'll just take boughs of real pine and set around and decorate them. And then you get a nice fragrance of the fresh pine in the house without having to have the whole tree. You know, some people don't like whole trees. Okay, so then when this gets up to temperature, still got a little ways to go yet. We'll be right back to add the other ingredients. Okay, the fudge is done to the boiling point, 234, which is your softball stage. Now when you lay down your thermometer, don't put it in cold water, you're going to break it. Just let it sit on top of a plate or something off to the side and let it cool down naturally. Now we shut off the heat to the fudge and add 1 bag of any flavor chips that you want. Normally put chocolate chips. You can use the dark chocolate chips if you want. Mint chocolate is wonderful. I'm doing butterscotch because I've made it so many times with chocolate. I'm just going to try something different. And you put in a jar of marshmallow cream. Now you can put this in the microwave for just about, I usually go for about 20 seconds. You don't want to cook it, and you don't want to melt the plastic. They used to come in the glass jars, which was easy to microwave and scoop out. But you can still do the plastic. You just want to warm it up. You don't want to melt the plastic. So like about 20 seconds will do it. And what that does, it just heats up the marshmallow cream so that you can scoop it out easier. You don't want to melt it completely, and you don't want to melt the plastic. But just to heat up enough so that that marshmallow cream slides out. And it makes it so much easier to mix. Now we just mix this together until the chips are completely melted and the marshmallow cream is incorporated. You can add a cup of chopped nuts if you want nuts in your fudge or not, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to put in my expensive vanilla. But this is same brand name, but it's different. This is the Mexican one. This is a good flavor too than the bourbon one. They're both wonderful. And just blend that in with your cream mixture of fudge. It smells good. And then we just pour this right into our prepared pan. See, it slides right out when you have that pan sprayed like that. And just smooth it around. And that's it for our holiday fudge. This is the simple marshmallow cream fudge, which is so easy to make. And it's just, you can make tons of it in any flavors you want to. It all depends on the kind of chips you want to put in. And we'll just I'll just put this outside on the deck and it'll cool rather quickly. And this will be our butterscotch fudge. Merry Christmas. Well, so we hope you enjoyed the episode this time around. We had some nice Christmas treats. These are Callie's treats. Oh, oh, oh. Shortbread's treats. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, here she comes. Oh, oh, oh. We got to see who wrote us this week, Callie. And the fudge is also cooling off on the deck there too, so I don't have that quite cut up yet, but it's going to be wonderful butterscotch fudge. Let's see who wrote us this week, Callie. And if you have any questions for Callie or I, please feel free to write us at the Northwoods Cooking Show at yahoo.com. And we'll get back to you and answer your questions as soon as we possibly can. And Callie gets her treat when we answer the mail, don't ya? Oh, we got treats, get in positions. Get in positions. And we get the true taste test to see if she really likes these. I know she does. Come here. Oh, it's pretty. What happened to your antlers? Oh, Santa's helper. Where's your antlers? Oh, laying on the couch, taking the naps. Oh, oh. Dear Uncle Roy, Miss Callie. Oh, oh, oh. I was wondering if you could substitute butter for shortening in my cookie recipe. Signed, Susan of Osseo, Minnesota. Well, thanks, Susan. Yes, you can. When making cookies, you want to make sure though that when you substitute your butter for shortening that you chill your dough for at least a half an hour minimum. I would go at least an hour or even better yet overnight in the refrigerator, because the chilling of the butter is going to congeal in the dough so that when you go to shape it into your scoops, the cookies will be much more presentable and they won't spread as much. If you do it at room temperature, like you just finished making the dough and you go to scoop them out and then you bake them, the butter is going to melt and go make your cookies go spread out real wide and thin. You've seen that before. I'm sure people have done that. Make the mistake of using all butter because you want that flavor. And when you go to bake the cookies, they just spread out completely in the pans on your baking sheets, and they just make a mess all over the place, all over the sheets, at the bottom of the oven, etc. So anytime you use butter, or all butter, in a cookie recipe, you want to make sure you chill that dough completely, because the coldness is going to keep it formed together so it doesn't spread out as bad. Hope that answers your questions. Oh, still waiting. And from Miss Callie and I, let's see. How about a Christmas tree? Oh, Christmas tree. Yeah, Christmas tree. Oh, oh, oh. You want to say, eat healthy, be safe, spread the sunshine, and Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye. Crunch, crunch, crunch.